Today I want to talk to you about illicit fentanyl, and this one is personal. Hi, I'm Martyna Strickland, and this is The World Today. America is currently facing an opioid epidemic primarily with fentanyl. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid that is widely accepted to be 50 times more potent than heroin and 100 times more potent than morphine, with the lethal amount being 2 milligrams or a few grains of salt. The dangers of this drug are seen every day, with over 100,000 fentanyl-related deaths in 2022. Experimenting with drugs now has a 70% chance of death due to fentanyl. That's a 30% chance of getting it right. Granted, we are not defending the use of illegal substances, but a vast majority fall victim to this plague by attempting to purchase other drugs, like my hometown friend, Alex Bradford. Alex was studying business at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, planning to get his real estate license in the summer. However, no one expected what was to come.
Here we go.
I reached out to Alex's father, Jeremy Bradford, who is co-founder of the 2 Out Rally Foundation. They speak on bringing pain to purpose. Their 2 mantras are to strike out illicit fentanyl and to rally for mental health. But their main mission is to carry on the legacy of Alex.
Alex was a hustler. He could sell you anything. And so Alex worked at this place called Something Fishy. We had a lot of laughs about the name of that place. But there's a lot of older people that go in there, especially on Sundays. And you don't get to work on Sundays unless you're like one of the good ones. You got to be really good. And so Alex actually became, they called him the good one because he was, as I found out later on, he was always on time. He was always the first one there. And I guess he told his employers that he's like, well, my dad says if you're not 15 minutes early, you're 15 minutes late. So something I thought that, he didn't get, he actually did get. And so that's one of the reasons why that afternoon when Alex didn't show up for work, they instantly knew something was wrong because Alex was always on time.
On March 30th, 2022, Alex lost his life to drugs. He and some friends chose to buy Percocet and cocaine, not fentanyl. Amongst the stress of university, relationships, accidents in life, Alex thought experimenting with drugs could help alleviate his struggles. Instead, this brought him being found dead in his room many hours later.
Hindsight again being 2020, I think back to a conversation that Alex and I had on the golf course, and he was telling me about some of his friends that were struggling. And I look back on that now, and I'm pretty certain he was trying to tell me that he was struggling. And as a parent, I didn't recognize that because Alex was so strong and he was so focused and determined on what he wanted to do that, again, I naively thought, not our son, not our boy wasn't going to affect us like that. So I would tell parents that not only you got to have the talk, but you got to set the conditions in the environment that your kid can come to you, and then you got to listen. And I regret not kind of digging into that conversation a little bit more with Alex, because who knows? But again, I wasn't educated on this thing called fentanyl.
Alongside the 100,000 fentanyl-related deaths in 2022, the DEA also seized over 379 million deadly doses of fentanyl, which is enough to kill every American. There are bills such as the Stop Fentanyl Act, the Halt Fentanyl Act, and the Fend Off Fentanyl Act that have yet to be passed by all branches of the government. However, these bills are not the only way America is fighting this war on drugs. When speaking with an anonymous law enforcement officer experienced in drug trafficking and surveillance, whom we will name Rosie, we discussed the challenges of controlling this drug. Their words will be spoken by an actor.
Controlling the distribution of fentanyl is a very complex problem to solve. Starting from the beginning, the component precursors in fentanyl are manufactured outside of the United States, which makes it very difficult for our government to effect change in these countries. Once manufactured, the next challenge controlling the distribution is the United States' international borders. The U.S. imports so many products that it is impossible for all of them to be adequately searched. Illegal immigration also plays a role in the distribution of fentanyl into and around the United States. Once inside the states, fentanyl and other controlled substances are trafficked throughout by drug trafficking organizations. These organizations are secretive and compartmentalized in a way that even if one member is arrested and agrees to cooperate with law enforcement, they can't name others in the organization because they don't know who they are. From the drug trafficking organizations, the fentanyl then goes on to the local dealer. The local dealer is difficult to catch distributing fentanyl because you would usually need one of their customers to cooperate with law enforcement for a successful prosecution. There are a myriad of reasons as to why a customer will not cooperate with law enforcement. Some of the more common reasons are their personal safety and their addiction.
And is this only a border issue?
No, this is a border issue and an American issue. Almost all fentanyl comes from outside of the United States, and the vast majority is trafficked through the southern border with Mexico. But it's also an American issue in that the market for illicit drugs is so strong because of the demand for it in the United States.
With the complexity of solving this crisis in America, it is dire for the UK to start taking precautions and become aware of the dangers surrounding this drug. According to the Office for National Statistics in 2022, England and Wales had 57 fentanyl-related deaths and 4,907 drug poisoning deaths. While that is vastly smaller than America's 100,000, this shows that this drug has already started to penetrate the UK. Educating yourself and others on the signs and symptoms of an overdose and carrying Narcan or naloxone could help save lives. Everyone touched by this epidemic looks at life differently, like Alex's friend, JB Hicks.
I would want to tell him thank you for basically saving our lives, because even though it had to be this way, he showed us just how easy, and you never know with whatever you're going to take if it's in there or not. And, no one's invincible, so it can just happen to anyone.
Hug your loved ones a little tighter and tell them you love them. And please remember to
live like Alex Bradford. Love like Alex Bradford.
because you never know what birthday will be your last.
To you.
We're all gonna get poisoned.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alex. Happy birthday to you.